Week 7 was undoubtedly the best week in the UFL so far. We had another overtime thriller, shock results, and the first teams eliminated from playoff contention. We've got all the key highlights from all of the Week 7 games, the major headlines from this week, and give our bold predictions for Week 8. So let's get to it. So first up on Friday night was the Columbus Aviators versus the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Go for about 6 for 152 today.
Yeah. They both are still in good shape. And that's bottled out of bounds. Well, this is going to be a disastrous start.
Ready to go.
On the keeper. Perez. They call it a touchdown. St. Louis.
Hut.
Lost it up towards the end zone, and it's caught. Stephen McBride, touchdown, Battlehawks. Jalen Morton now in at quarterback. He's usually there to run, and he does. Slips a tackle or two, gets the first down and more, fighting his way all the way into the end zone, touchdown. What second and third effort for Morton. And Ahmed gets it. We'll see if that 4 points.
Ready to go.
From the 14. Kylan James gets going. And into the end zone. How easy was that? McClendon. Nice pass, intercepted. Right into the hands of Jordan Mosley. Perez. Picked off. Well, Columbus needed their defense to do something, and they did. McClendon. Underneath. Jay Martin diving. Touchdown, Columbus. And so the Aviators take advantage of the turnover to start this second half, and they pull a little closer.
Ready to go.
James, easy. London. Towards the end zone, they get a touchdown. Kiki Chisholm.
Next, we had a doubleheader on Saturday, starting with the Louisville Kings versus the DC Defenders.
DC has scored a touchdown on every opening drive this season, and they're going to have the football first as we're underway at Audi Field. From the 8-yard line, the return, looking for a little bit of space and out near the 35.
Percentages are in our favor?
Yes, the odds will ever be in our favor after an 0-for-2 start.
Yeah,
good snap, good hold, and good kick.
Good kick. 3 or 4, probably add one linebacker to the rush. There he is.
And here comes that pressure. Tom, who gets away. Throwing deep downfield. Got a man out there. It's caught at the 40-yard line. Javon Antonio on the run all the way for a DC touchdown. 3rd and 1 from the shotgun this time. Trying to give it off to Wheeler, and he's buried in the backfield for a loss.
So here trying to overcome a 3rd and 9.
Ready? Shade thrown Deion Jackson's way for lack of vert. Tom pumps down the sideline. Jump ball opportunity, and it's caught by Ty Scott. It's a touchdown. Contested catch turns into 6.
Linemen all stood up right now.
And on 3rd and 10, they twist. Rodgers under late pressure. Will tuck this one. Oh my goodness, he's blasted. The ball popping out.
The defense is 5-yard.
So now from the 9 on 1st and goal. Rodgers to the end zone. Jump ball. It is caught. It's a touchdown. Tariq Black climbing the ladder for 6. 49 made from 48. And the kick is accurate.
Nice.
It is deep, and it is good in the UFL. From the 6-yard line, and the return for DC, and some space for Ezukama across the midfield stripe, and the ball popping out. jarred out at the 45-yard line, and it's Louisville ball. 2nd and 2. Rodgers keeps, throws, open, end zone, touchdown. Tariq Black gives Louisville the lead. From the 14-yard line on 1st down, Ta'amu with throw. They'll go over the middle, and it's intercepted. On 1st and goal. Rodgers, the give to Robinson, and James Robinson in for the touchdown.
Throw from Ta'amu and just a complete drop.
On 2nd and 10. Ta'amu going up top again, looking for the end zone, and that ball is intercepted. I don't know. From 49, and the kick by Tanner Brown is good.
Later on Saturday was the Dallas Renegades versus the Birmingham Stallions.
15th play of this drive. Merriweather again. And it's a touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run by Ellis Merriweather. Here in the 4th quarter. This from 40 yards out. Carlson. And he puts it through. Here's 4th down for Birmingham, and they get it! And breaking free is Mickens! Touchdown, Stallions!
And he's walked back and forth and kind of redone these 3 steps multiple times already. I don't love that.
So here we go again. Can Dallas snap the 3-game losing streak and hold on to that critical 4th spot for the playoff push? Somebody got after it. End of regulation. Glennon straight ahead, waiting for the call. A lot of debate there in the middle of that pile. We can listen into the command center.
We are looking at it. So
He's still looking. He's still looking.
On the,
You can tell him it's under review.
it's under review. You can announce it's under review.
It's under review.
So what I'm looking at is the shot down the line, and I can see the quarterback, and I can see his lower body. I can't tell if it's down or if it's on bodies. Now the ball is on the goal line. And again, I need to see if he's on bodies. Do we have anything down?
Well, it is hard to
left.
tell there in the scrum.
Okay, again, I'm going to try to see if I can piece this together. Again, I can't tell if his backside is down or not. He might be on bodies. Even if I piece it together, I think he might be up, but I can't prove it. After review, the ruling on the field stands.
That's a tough one for Dean Blandino. Saying, I think he may be laying on top of bodies. I think he may be knocked down, but I can't prove it.
Or from Dean's chair, you got to just go with the call on the field.
Meanwhile, first attempt, DTR for Birmingham. Can he get there? Wow! Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Reed, second attempt. Alternating attempts, and he is sacked to put it away. DTR to the end zone, he does it! Mickens!
And finally, to round off Week 7 on Sunday was the Orlando Storm versus the Houston Gamblers.
Down the stretch of the UFL season. It'll be Orlando ball, and the kickoff toward the sideline. And Mika Karoum is rolling across the 25, got a block. Roland on the move across the 40 and down to the 43-yard line. All of Jake Butt's reports will originate from on the shady sideline tonight. Hope you didn't expect to hear much about Orlando. High toss, caught, yanked down inside the 5 and dragging defenders into the end zone. Elijah Badger. And Houston with 3 on the board. Second down and 10 from the 15-yard line for Deckers. And that one's intercepted, and it'll be a walk-in touchdown. DJ James takes it to the house for the Storm.
Think about it as this game continues.
On third and goal, Deckers will run this time, and Deckers will take it in for the touchdown. First Orlando penalty, now officially a 41-yard try. And the kick by Lance is good, and it's 17-10.
Able to use his legs to create, and he's throwing really nice football.
First down and 10, the run up the middle, and the ball is out. A jarring hit, forcing it out, and a fumble recovery for Orlando. Boylan's kick is going to make it a 4-point game, and still 3 seconds to play.
And the reason is because he has to clear out for the route underneath him.
So Plumlee on 4th and 11 going to try to scramble. Plumlee throwing on the run, wide open downfield, rumbling to the end zone for the touchdown. Plumlee buying on the field. At a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. And Plummer pumps it going deep, got his man out there on a touchdown to Elijah Badger. The first play of the 4th quarter. Hoyland on to try for his 3rd made field goal of the day, and Hoyland is good on this one to bring Houston to within 1. No challenge, and they have no timeouts. It's 4th and 5 now. Deckers. And it's incomplete. He had a man open, and he could not connect with Marcus Major out of the backfield. 63 yards for 4 points and the lead. The kick by Hoyland is going to be wide right and short.
So here are my 3 key takeaways from week 7. Number 1, what has gone wrong for the Renegades? It seems to be a weekly segment now, but how can a team that looks so dominant through the first 3 weeks fall so hard? Their offense is just a shadow of itself right now, and how much does the team regret trading away Luis Perez? They face a must-win game against the Storm on Friday night to stop the slide and still get themselves hope of a playoff position. But I ask myself, will Dallas win another game this season? Their final 3 games are Storm, Kings and Battlehawks. It doesn't look good, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. And number 2, it's the return of the Spring King. Luis Perez was given the starting role for the first time on Friday night in Battlehawks' win over the Aviators. He had a steady game, going 16 for 30 for 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 rushing touchdown. I just feel the team looked more comfortable with him as starter, and his experience will be key. Can Perez lead the Battlehawks to number 1 seed and a shot at the championship game? Absolutely. They have 2 games against the Gamblers and finish off at home versus the Renegades. That should be plenty enough time and a good schedule for him to get in rhythm leading this offense. Now, will the Spring King be sat on the throne at the end of the UFL season? Let us know your thoughts. At number 3, after the first 3 weeks of the season, I was a little worried the UFL would become predictable. A big gap seemed to open between the top 4 and bottom 4, and 2 out of the 3 expansion teams were really struggling. However, the last couple of weeks have been the perfect blend of unpredictable. The Stallions and Kings are surging, the Storm and Defenders have had slip-ups, and the Renegades have gone from 3-0 to 3-4. I was concerned there would not be a battle for playoff positions, and while 3 positions are locked up, it could be after week 8, there's going to be a fight for the 4th spot. So let the mayhem continue. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to get that 4th spot. Now, so let's take a look at the standings after week 7. A new team now sits at the top in the St. Louis Battlehawks. Tied for first are Orlando Storm and the DC Defenders, also at 5-2. These 3 teams only need 1 more win to lock up a playoff spot. 3 of the teams now share a 3-4 record, are in a fight for that 4th playoff spot. It's currently occupied by the resurgent Birmingham Stallions. However, the Kings are rallying and we're pushing hard for that playoff berth. The Dallas Renegades in complete freefall after losing 4 straight. After tough losses in Week 7 and falling to 2-5 on the season, the Columbus Aviators and Houston Gamblers are essentially eliminated from the playoff contention. So on to our Week 8 score predictions. Another split 2-2 record in Week 7 gives us an overall record this season of 16-12. Let us know how you did in Week 7. So first up on Friday night, it's the Orlando Storm versus Dallas Renegades. The Storm got back into the win column with a tight 1-point win over the Gamblers in Week 7. They are now tied for first place at 5-2 and know that one more win will guarantee them a playoff spot. They come up against a Renegades team who are in real trouble after losing their 4th straight game last week. The UFL is getting more and more unpredictable as the season goes on. However, there seems likely only one outcome to this game. I predict the Storm will win this one by a score of 24-17 to lock up a playoff spot and leave the Renegades 1 loss away from elimination. We have a double-header on Saturday, starting with a rematch of the Week 7 game between the DC Defenders and Louisville Kings. Now, be honest, did anyone see last week's result coming? Yes, the Kings have shown signs this season, but the DC Defenders had been dominant during their 5-game win streak. Tamu was playing lights out at the quarterback position, and they were at home as well. But the UFL twists and turns are in full flow, and we got one of the biggest shocks of the season as the Kings ran out 30-13 winners. I expect a lively crowd in Louisville for this one, knowing that they are right in the playoff mix. However, I just can't see DC losing back-to-back games against the same opponent. I think they will figure out the mistakes from that Week 7 game and come away with a 28-20 win and guaranteed playoff spot. On Saturday afternoon, it's the Houston Gamblers versus the St. Louis Battlehawks. Now, the Gamblers are all but eliminated from playoff contention and have arguably been the worst team of the season. They've had their moments and almost came back versus the Storm on Sunday, but have not been consistent enough this season to be competitive in every game. The Battlehawks sit at the top of the standings, currently on a 3-game win streak, and are at home in this one. Houston will want to play the spoilers, but there's only one way that this game is going to go. The Spring King gets more game time, the Battlehawks win 27-14, and secure a playoff spot. And to round off the week on Sunday is the Columbus Aviators versus the Birmingham Stallions. The Aviators have had opportunities in close games and not capitalised or turned the ball over too many times. They're all but eliminated from the playoffs, but can again play the spoilers in this one. Versus Stallions, who are now tied up for the 4th playoff spot and riding a 2-game win streak. DTR has got the offense moving, and Spring League veterans are making a push. I see them making it 3 wins in a row by a score of 23-20 to put one foot firmly into the playoff positions. So there are my predictions. Make sure that you drop your Week 8 predictions down in the comments. We've replied to every single one. We're back with a play-by-play live stream this week on Friday night to watch the Orlando Storm take on the Dallas Renegades. So if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe, both are free to do, and make sure that you don't miss out on any of our UFL and NFL content on YouTube. And finally, if you're new to the UFL, where have you been? But make sure you check out this video next, which explains everything that you need to know about the UFL 2026. And we'll see you next time.